Hi. Hi there. So, I am at the Bay Walk in Azuela Cove. This is my first time here. It's pretty nice. And the decision to come here is also random. So, it's on a Sunday. I'm on my 5th day of my social media detox. I wouldn't say I have been 100% off of social media because sometimes kailangan ko mag-Facebook because of Handala works. So, but I would say I have been off of social media for 5 days and I would say maybe an hour of those 5 days I had to go on Facebook and like download the app again. But so I uninstalled my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Facebook, and yeah, basically I only have YouTube. YouTube naman kasi is not social media. It's just a video platform. And I use that also mostly for my educational content that I consume. And so that's why I still have that. The reason why I'm on social media detox is because I just feel like sabi ni City ng friend ko, why am I on social media detox daw? May nang bubuli ba daw or anything? And nothing. Like it's not any of those. I just feel like parang naiingayan ako. And I don't like the feeling of I feel that I was starting to get addicted to it, especially on TikTok. Aside from the fact that it literally takes up so much of your time, I also don't like the feeling na I feel like I have to post, like I have to make content to for the algorithm so that I can push my profile out there and get more followers. And I sometimes, or the way that I like to do it is when it comes naturally, yung parang I don't have to force like a content. I don't have to like think na ganito dapat gawin ko, i-film ko to, ganyan-ganyan para makapag-post na ako. Because I at only I think 1,200 something followers or like 1,100 followers, parang nafe-feel ko na lalo na pag dumadami yung engagement na you have to keep this up, keep the momentum, blah blah blah. Pero although maliit lang naman pa rin talaga yung following. But that's the point. I just don't want to be consumed by that. Na I have to like push myself out there, like make this and that content. Like for law school, like I have to film like a study with me, have to film. I just don't like that feeling anymore, and sometimes it doesn't come out naturally, or like like a day in my life ganun. I want it na if I film ako na content, it's because I feel like it's natural. Like that's really what I'm doing. Not that any of the things I've posted so far are not things that I usually do, because I do those talaga. But sometimes there are like some contents there na parang sige, mag-film na lang ako today ng like time-lapse ng pagsa-study ko para lang may maipost ako. Yeah, although nagsa-study naman din talaga, pero yun. But also, meron din siyang factor na parang pag hindi ako makapag-study, ay iniisip ko na what if i-video ko na lang para maging motivation ko siya na I'm filming. And then nakaka-help din siya kasi nakakapag-study ako. But yun, I don't want to feel obligated. I don't want to obligate myself. And I don't want to fabricate also. And I don't like the feeling na napapressure ako mag-post based off of like what you should be doing to grow your followings. Like post at this certain time, post this much, in a day so that you can attract more followers. I don't like that. So, and I was starting to feel that, and I immediately took a step back. Like, no, we don't want to do that. Kasi, hindi ko naman siya priority. It's not like I'm a full-time social media, whatever. I'm not even, but I'm trying to just make that space for me. But my point is, it's not my number one priority. The number one really on my priority is to graduate, to finish law school, take the bar, pass the bar, so that I can fully move forward already with my life. Because, to be really honest, it feels like my life has been stalled for a long time. But, I mean, hindi naman din siya masama. Definitely not, because I'm working towards something. The only, siguro, the downside of it, if I may say so, downside is that it has taken me longer than number one than it normally should have. Number two, I know that I wasn't gonna be able to go on the normal timeline, which was 4 years. But even my extended deadline for myself, I did not make it there, which was like, okay, 5 years, maybe 6 years. And now I am on my 7th year. Although technically 6 years pa rin naman because I took a leave of absence for 1 year. But the counting of the years, it has been 7 years. I took a leave of absence for 1 year because of daming factors na. Number one is yung pera talaga. Like, actually, yun talaga. Actually, kasi hindi ko naman talaga siya sinasabi na pera talaga. Kasi I really got into a bad place last year. It was really a turning point. But I feel kasi na if sapat lang yung pera, yung safety mo around that, things will sort itself out. But I feel like with that resource being depleted, a lot of the other factors came with it or like went with it, or it trickled down onto other factors such as nung wala na akong trabaho, like I cannot provide for myself, like, so like how would I pay for my rent, how would I pay for my school, of course may dealing, so it was really more of a survival. And then because of that, I of course fell into like a state of survival. It was survival mode. And it was a bad downtime. It was a depression not on, it was everything. So you could say it was depression on hormonal, biological level, physiological, psychological. And then napunta siya sa spiritual, emotional, mental. And then parang, if you think about it, pera lang ba talaga ang punot dulo ng lahat? Because what if I had all the resources? What if I didn't have to what if I didn't have to be in survival mode? What if I had all the resources that I needed? Hindi ba ako mapupunta sa place na yun? And somehow I feel like parang ganun. Kasi Imagine if I didn't have to worry about everything else while studying. Like everything is provided for me. I didn't have to work. I didn't have to worry about where I would get this and that. I wouldn't have to worry about where how to pay for my school, how to pay for my rent, how to pay for my food. Yung mag-aaral ka lang. Then siguro hindi ako magkakaganon. Pero nung wala na lahat yung basic needs mo for survival, and your family cannot necessarily provide you for that because it's not like they have abundance of it. And number two, it's not like I am a young person. I am literally, I'm 35 years old. Well, am I 35? I'm 36 already. So like I'm at that age, and I should not be relying on like my family for my basic needs. Although that time they had to step in, but I couldn't let them do and take over that part of my life completely. So even if they could potentially still like, okay, I'm gonna pay for your tuition or we can still do it, blah blah blah. Pero parang feeling ko no, it's too mabigat. Because I know that you don't have naman so much of it. So like why would you buhos everything to me? So I had to take a step back. I had to take a step back. Like, sige, parang siguro hindi pa ito ang tamang panahon. Let's take a step back. Also, I needed it because everything was depleted. I was mentally, emotionally, physically, like, worn out. So I took a step back. I took a leave of absence. I went back to work for a year where I working without having to worry na meron pa akong school, meron pa akong exams. So just really focus on earning. But so this part of the story is God, parang kanina gusto ko lang umiyak pero no. But this part of the story deserves its own spot. But basically that's what happened. I had to take a step back. I had to, regain, refocus, and take back control of my life basically because it was spiraling. I really was spiraling. It was out of control. And ironically, that was a problem that I had been wanting to control so much. And the more that I wanted control, the more that I lost control. And I didn't know how to handle that. Parang naiiyak ako. I didn't know how to handle because we were raised kasi 'di ba na dapat ganito ka, dapat ganyan. You should have your be responsible. Be responsible for your time. So you plan, you organize. This is what you need to do. Like, to get this outcome, you should do this, do that. And I have been doing that. I feel like I had been diligent in doing that. I was controlling kasi the outcome na dahil ganito ang gusto kong outcome, dapat ganito ang gawin ko. And I did, steps like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. I'm gonna exercise for my mental health. I'm gonna wake up early for this and that. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna eat good food. And then I'm gonna study, and I'm gonna be good at my job. And then, ang napaka-heartbreaking lang nun na part is parang, but also this is one of the lessons that I had to learn. Was I literally was in this situation asking na parang anong ginawa kong mali? What did I do wrong? Because diba, to get 2, you have to add 1 plus 1. So I was adding 1 plus 1 because I wanted to get 2. But it wasn't adding up. I got 3 or 4, which is not a good thing because what I wanted was 2. Or I got 0, like I got nothing, and it didn't make sense because I felt like I was doing like what I was doing, what was showing up was different from what was supposed to be the result of what I was doing. And I think, and I learned in that journey last year that it was definitely a lesson on learning to let go of control. Also, I also came to a point where I also had to be humbled because I felt like I was already in a stage in my life where I felt like I could do everything. Like, I'm so magaling. I can do this. I mean, not even in law school, pero parang just the fact alone na I was able to carry myself through law school all these years through my own work, blah blah blah. Of course, my own work meaning like all the connections, all the networks that I was able to bring for myself, all the work that I had to, get. And it felt and and also like with coming into last year, like working, leaving law school and then working back for the government, and then being in a lot of situations, in a lot of rooms where you feel like you're like the best person in that room, like you're the smartest person in that room. And I wouldn't say arrogance, I wouldn't say pride, but it's like it gave me a sense of siguro pride. I wouldn't say arrogance, pero it gave me a sense of that na parang, ay, ang galing ko naman. Ang galing ko, I deserve more. And if I was treated in a way that I felt like I did not deserve, I would be like, no, you cannot do that. I know how I want to be treated, and this is not it. And if you're treating me any less, I was like immediately out of the door, like leaving, because I was so full of myself. I was like, I can do this. I'm so much better. I'm blah 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 blah. And then I can control this. It came to a point na parang feeling ko ako lang. Like kaya ko naman, kaya ko lahat, kaya kong gawin to for myself, deserve ko to, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. That I totally was not, or like I totally lost sight of the fact that it was not me. I don't have the total control. There is someone out there who has bigger control, who says, no, girl, it's not you who's in control. It is I who is in control. And parang I was humbled down. Wait lang. I think it's gonna rain. I need a grab. I don't know. Maybe let's continue this. I have been wanting to record this episode, and I'm so glad that like finally I got to, record this. Oh gosh. I'm gonna pause. I hope I get back to this momentum later on, but it's gonna rain. I don't have a car. We're gonna book a grab. Let me fix myself first.